Close your eyes, just for a moment. Listen to the silence around you. Now, listen to the silence inside you. What do you hear? The quiet hum of regret? The faint echo of dreams you put to sleep? The ghost of the person you promised you would become? Open your eyes. It's time to wake up. Welcome to a different kind of English lesson. Tonight, we won't just learn words. We will wake up warriors. We won't just study grammar. We will build discipline. If you are ready to stop existing and start living, then listen. Listen with your soul, not just your ears. Segment 1. The Awakening. Let me ask you one question. The most important question you will hear today. Is the person you are right now worthy of the dreams you have? Let that question sit. Look at your hands. Are they creating? Or are they just scrolling? Look at your mind. Is it learning? Or is it just consuming? Look at your heart. Is it on fire? Or is it just comfortable? Comfortable. The most dangerous word in the English language. Your comfort zone is a beautiful prison. And you are the guard, holding the key, too afraid to open the door. I'm not here to give you the key. I'm here to remind you that you've always held it. The question is, do you have the courage to turn it? Segment 2. The Mirror. Let's do a simple exercise. I want you to say these words out loud with me. My life is my responsibility. Again, with conviction. My life is my responsibility. One more time, like you mean it. My life is my responsibility. Do you feel that? That shift inside you? That is the sound of power returning to its owner. You. Stop blaming your past. Stop waiting for a savior. The hero of your story is looking at you from the mirror. It's time to act like it. Segment 3. The first step. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a first step. One single step. What is the one thing you can do tomorrow that your future self will thank you for? Wake up 1 hour earlier. Read 10 pages of a book. Speak one English sentence out loud, even to an empty room. Don't think about the whole journey. Just the first step. The mountain is climbed one step at a time. But you have to take the first step, or you will stand at the bottom forever, just looking up. The view from the top is reserved for those who decide to climb, not for those who dream about it. This is just the beginning. We have only started to scratch the surface. The real work starts when this video ends, when you are alone with your thoughts and your choices. Choose wisely. Your future is waiting. If you want to continue this journey, to go deeper and build the life you deserve, let me know in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, because this is not just a lesson. This is a movement, and it's just getting started. Sleep on these words, but tomorrow, wake up and act. Part 2. The Art of Inner Warfare. A firmer, more urgent tone, yet still controlled. Listen. The alarm clock rings. The first battle of the day begins now. On one side of the bed, the you that wants to grow, to conquer, to build. On the other side, the you that wants snooze, comfort, 5 more minutes. This small war happens every single day. And the person you become in 1 year depends on who wins this war every single morning. Segment 4. The Death of Tomorrow. Have you ever noticed that tomorrow is the most dangerous lie we tell ourselves? I'll start tomorrow. I'll change tomorrow. I'll fix this tomorrow. But tomorrow is an illusion, a place that never arrives. The only thing that is real is this exact moment, this second, this decision. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is an empty promise. All you have is now. And if you don't act now, you are training your brain to always delay. You are building a muscle called procrastination. And one day you wake up and realize all your tomorrows have turned into never. The solution: kill the word tomorrow from your vocabulary. Replace it with now, not I will study English tomorrow. I will study one word now, not I'll start the gym on Monday. I will do 10 push-ups now. Small actions. Now create a different destiny. Segment 5. Discipline. Motivation. Let's tell the truth about motivation. It fades. The motivation you feel right now, watching this video, will disappear. Maybe in an hour, maybe tomorrow. Motivation is like the weather. It constantly changes. But discipline is like a rock. It does not depend on how you feel. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. You don't wait to feel motivated to brush your teeth. You just brush. Treat your goals with the same mindset. Don't wait to feel motivated to study. Sit down and study. Don't wait to feel inspired to work. Start working. Action comes first. Motivation comes after. Discipline is what builds empires. Motivation only builds Instagram posts. Segment 6. Your internal enemies identify the 4 horsemen of your personal apocalypse that are destroying your dreams. The addiction to comfort. The constant need to be comfortable, safe, without pressure. But diamonds only form under pressure. The fear of judgment. Worrying about what others will think. But guess what? They are so worried about what you think of them that they barely think about you. The paralysis of perfection. Waiting for the perfect conditions to start. They will never come. Start imperfect. Improve along the way. The habit of excuses. The stories you tell yourself about why you can't. I'm too tired. I don't have time. It's too hard. These are not reasons. They are surrenders. You must declare war on these enemies. Every morning when you wake up, you must choose: will I feed my discipline or my excuses? The battle for your future is won in these small, silent moments of choice. This is where you build the life you want. Not in one big, dramatic moment, but in 1,000 small, invisible victories. Your English, your career, your body, your mind. They are all built in these moments. So win the battle of the bed. Win the battle of the first hour. Win the battle of your focus. This is the art of inner warfare. And you are the general. Now go and command your life. Segment 7. The identity shift. Stop trying to motivate yourself. It doesn't last. Instead, change your identity. You don't need to find motivation to go to the gym. You need to become someone who goes to the gym. It's not something you do. It's who you are. You don't need to force yourself to study English. You need to become someone who speaks English. It's not a task. It's your identity. This is the most powerful shift you will ever make. Stop saying I should study. Start saying I am a student. Stop saying I want to be confident. Start saying I am a confident person. Your actions will always follow your identity. So who are you? Are you the person who watches life happen? Or are you the person who makes life happen? Your brain is a supercomputer, and your identity is the operating system. If you install the software of a lazy person, you will get lazy results. If you install the software of a champion, you will get championship results. So from this moment forward, decide. Who are you? Write it down. Speak it out loud. I am a disciplined person. I am a fluent English speaker. I am the architect of my life. Fake it until you become it. Because eventually, your actions will have no choice but to align with the person you've decided to be. Segment 8. The action. Cure. You are not stuck because of what you don't know. You are stuck because of what you don't do. Information is not power. Implementation is power. You can watch 100 videos about English grammar, but if you never speak, you will never be fluent. You can read 100 books about success, but if you never take a risk, you will never succeed. There is a disease spreading faster than any virus. It's called analysis paralysis. Thinking, planning, preparing, but never doing. Let me give you the cure. It's a simple prescription. The 5-second rule. When you feel an instinct to act on a goal, you have 5 seconds. If you don't physically move within 5 seconds, your brain will kill the idea. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Move. See an English word you don't know? 5 seconds to look it up. Think of sending a message to practice? 5 seconds to type it. Know you should be studying? 5 seconds to open your book. Your mind is a terrible master, but an excellent servant. Don't ask for its permission. Give it a command. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Move. Action is the antidote to fear. It is the cure for doubt. Stop thinking your way into a new life. Act your way into a new way of thinking. Segment 9. The standard you set. The quality of your life is determined by the lowest standard you are willing to accept. Look at every area of your life. Your health, your finances, your relationships, your English. What is the lowest level of performance you tolerate? You tolerate being slightly out of shape. You tolerate having just enough money to get by. You tolerate making the same grammar mistakes. This tolerance is your ceiling. This is what holds you down. Today, I want you to raise your standards. Not next week. Not when things get easier. Today, decide, this is no longer acceptable to me. I do not tolerate mediocrity in my English. I do not tolerate excuses in my health. I do not tolerate complaining in my mindset. When you raise your standards, your behavior changes automatically. You don't need more willpower. You need a higher standard. A person with high standards doesn't debate whether to go to the gym. They go, because not going is not an option for them. A person with high standards doesn't skip their English lesson. They practice, because being fluent is non-negotiable. Your life will always move in the direction of your strongest standards. So what are you tolerating that you need to stop accepting? Define your new standard now. Write it down, and never negotiate with it again. This is how you build a life of respect, starting with self-respect. Segment 10. The environment you craft. You are not just a product of your decisions. You are a product of your environment. The people you surround yourself with, the content you consume, the spaces you inhabit, they are all silently programming you. If you try to study English in a room filled with distractions, you will fail. If you try to build discipline while surrounded by lazy people, you will fail. If you try to think positively while consuming negative media, you will fail. Your environment is stronger than your willpower. Stop fighting against a toxic environment and start building one that supports your goals. Curate your inner circle. The 5 people you spend the most time with, you are the average of them. Are they lifting you up or holding you down? Design your physical space. Create a corner for learning. Make your environment so conducive to growth that good habits become automatic. Control your digital space. Your phone is not a tool. It's an environment. Unfollow accounts that make you feel lazy. Fill your feed with inspiration and education. You cannot fly like an eagle if you are surrounded by turkeys. Build your nest at higher altitudes. Cement 11. The consistency compound. Forget about motivation. Forget about massive action. The real secret is insignificant choices. repeated consistently. Learning one English word per day seems meaningless. But in 1 year, that's 365 words. Enough to have basic conversations. Reading 10 pages per day seems trivial. But in 1 year, that's 3,650 pages. More than 12 substantial books. The magic isn't in the size of the action. It's in the consistency of repetition. Stop looking for the home run. Start hitting singles every day. The grand slam will come on its own. This is the compound effect of consistency. Day 1, nothing visible. Week 1, barely noticeable. Month 1, small progress. Year 1, significant transformation. 5 years, complete mastery. The problem is that most people stop on day 3 because they don't see results. They're digging for gold and quit 3 feet from the treasure. The universe always rewards consistency over intensity. Be the person who shows up every single day, especially when you don't see results. Your future self is watching your daily choices right now. Make them proud. Segment 12. The truth about failure. You have been taught to fear failure. This is your greatest limitation. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. Every master was once a disaster. Every expert was once a beginner. The person who never made a mistake never made anything. When you speak English and make a grammar error, that's not failure. That's data collection. Your brain just learned what doesn't work. When you try a new method and it doesn't work, that's not failure. That's research and development. You just eliminated a path that doesn't lead to your destination. Reframe failure as tuition. You're paying for your education with experience, not money. The only true failure is not trying at all. The person who falls and gets up is stronger than the person who never fell. Your scars are proof that you were in the battle. Your mistakes are evidence that you had the courage to try. Stop protecting your perfect record. Start collecting interesting failures. The person with the most interesting failures usually wins. Segment 13. The unshakable core, external circumstances will change. Motivation will come and go. People will disappoint you. Plans will fall apart. The only thing that must remain constant is your inner core. Build your identity on something unshakable. Not on your job title, not on your bank account, not on other people's opinions. Build it on your character, on your discipline, on your ability to keep promises to yourself. When everything else is chaotic, your inner core remains steady. This is what separates the amateur from the professional. The amateur works when they feel inspired. The professional works because they made a commitment. The amateur practices when it's convenient. The professional practices because it's non-negotiable. The amateur gives up at the first sign of difficulty. The professional understands that difficulty is part of the process. Your inner core is like a muscle. You strengthen it by keeping small promises to yourself. Wake up when you said you would. Study when you planned to. Speak English even when it's uncomfortable. Every kept promise strengthens your core. Every broken promise weakens it. Build a core so strong that no storm can knock you over. This is the foundation upon which everything else is built. Segment 14. The legacy mindset. Stop thinking about what you want to have. Start thinking about who you want to become. The cars, the money, the perfect English accent. These are byproducts. They are the smoke, not the fire. The real transformation happens internally. The external results simply reflect the internal changes. Ask yourself different questions. Not, what do I want to achieve? But, who do I need to become to deserve that achievement? Not, how can I make more money? But, What value can I create that justifies more money? Not, how can I speak better English? But, what kind of person would naturally develop fluent English? This legacy mindset changes everything. You stop chasing results and start building character. Because in the end, your English fluency won't matter as much as the discipline you built to achieve it. Your bank account won't matter as much as the person you became while building it. You are not building a resume. You are building a legacy. You are not collecting achievements. You are crafting a character. Make sure the person you become is someone you respect, because you have to live with that person forever. The external world is temporary. The person you become is permanent. Build accordingly. Segment 15. The burning platform. There is a famous business story about a burning oil platform. When the platform is literally on fire, people don't hesitate. They don't form committees. They jump into the icy water below because the alternative is certain death. You need to create this same sense of urgency in your own life. Your platform is already burning. Time is the fire, and it's consuming your platform every second. The someday dream is a luxury you cannot afford. The comfortable job you hate is slowly draining your soul. The English you will learn someday is an opportunity cost piling up every day. Stop waiting for an external catastrophe to force you to jump. Create your own burning platform. Ask yourself the hard questions. What is the true cost of staying where I am? If I continue on this exact path for 5 more years, where will I be? Who will I have become? The pain of staying the same must become greater than the pain of changing. That is the moment you jump. Stop protecting yourself from the discomfort of growth. Embrace the productive pain that comes with building something meaningful. The icy water of uncertainty is temporary. The burning platform of regret is permanent. Jump now, while you still have the strength to swim. Segment 16. The self-validation. You are searching for something that cannot be found outside yourself. You want your boss to validate your worth. You want social media to validate your success. You want others to validate your English skills. This is why you feel empty. External validation is a bucket with holes. You keep pouring water in, but it never stays full. The only validation that matters comes from within. It comes from knowing you showed up when no one was watching. It comes from keeping promises to yourself. It comes from the quiet pride of knowing you did the work. Stop asking for permission to be great. Stop waiting for someone to certify you as ready. You validate yourself through action. You certify yourself through consistency. The person you become in the process of pursuing your goals is the real prize. The fluent English is just the byproduct. The successful career is just the evidence. The respected reputation is just the echo. The real treasure is the self-respect you earn by becoming someone who does what they say they will do. When you truly validate yourself, you become unstoppable, because you're no longer waiting for anyone else's approval to move forward. Segment 17. The pain. Piggy bank. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're making a deposit. Every time you study when tired, you're making a deposit. Every time you speak English despite fear, you're making a deposit. This is your pain piggy bank. Most people only make withdrawals. They seek comfort, avoid difficulty, and run from pain. Their piggy bank remains empty. But those who consistently make deposits, who embrace productive pain, who understand that temporary discomfort buys permanent growth, their piggy bank grows heavy with compound interest. Then, when opportunity comes, the job interview, the business pitch, the conversation with a foreign client, they have a wealth of discipline to draw upon. They don't crumble under pressure because they've been building pressure tolerance every day. While others are bankrupt of willpower, they're rich with resilience. Start making daily deposits into your pain piggy bank. Wake up early. Study first. Speak anyway. Do the hard thing now. The wealth you build there cannot be taken from you. It becomes part of your character. It becomes your superpower. Segment 18. The mindset of ownership. There are two types of people in the world: tenants and owners. Tenants complain about the property, but do nothing to improve it. They blame the landlord, the neighbors, the system. They live in temporary spaces with temporary solutions. Owners take responsibility. They fix what's broken. They paint what's faded. They invest in long-term improvements. Most people are tenants in their own lives. They complain about their circumstances, but take no real ownership. Your mind is your property. Your skills are your property. Your time is your property. Stop being a tenant. Become an owner. When you find a problem with your English, own the solution. When you notice a weakness in your discipline, own the fix. When you see an area of your life that needs improvement, own the renovation. Owners don't wait for permission to make things better. They see something that needs fixing, and they fix it. This mindset shift changes everything. From, "Why is this happening to me?" to, "What am I going to do about this?" From, "This is too hard," to, "This is my responsibility." From, "I hope things get better," to, "I will make things better." Your life is your property. Start acting like the owner. Segment 19. The action antidote. Overthinking is the modern disease. Analysis paralysis is the epidemic. You have consumed enough information. You have watched enough videos. You have made enough plans. Now there is only one medicine left: action. Not perfect action, not confident action, not prepared action, just action. Action is the antidote to fear. Action creates evidence against it. Doubt. Action provides data. Regret. Action creates new memories. Anxiety. Action focuses your mind. When you don't know what to do something. When you're afraid to speak one word. When you're overwhelmed, complete one small task. Momentum builds through movement, not through thinking about movement. The bridge between who you are and who you want to become is built with actions, not with thoughts. Stop preparing to live and start living. Stop planning to speak English and start speaking. Stop thinking about your future and start building it. The perfect time will never come. The perfect conditions will never arrive. The perfect version of you doesn't exist yet. You become that person through action, not through waiting. Segment 20. The final realization. This is not a test run. This is not a rehearsal. This is your life. The person you become in the next year is being decided by the choices you're making today. The English you speak in 5 years is being determined by your practice today. The life you have in a decade is being built by your habits today. There are no neutral moments. Every choice is a vote for the person you're becoming. You don't get to suddenly become disciplined when it matters. You build discipline when it doesn't seem to matter, so it's there when you need it. You don't magically become fluent in English overnight. You build fluency word by word, day by day, until it becomes your reality. The universe is neutral. It doesn't care about your dreams, but it does respond to your actions. Stop waiting for a sign. Stop hoping for a miracle. Stop dreaming about a different life. Create it. Word by word. Action by action. Day by day. This is your awakening. This is your responsibility. This is your time. Now. Go. Segment 21. The Island of Self-Reliance. Imagine you are on an island, completely alone, no one to impress, no one to judge you, no one to help you. On this island, would you still work to improve your English? Would you still exercise to stay strong? Would still wake up early to make the most of your day? If your answer is yes, then you have discovered the island of self-reliance. This is where true growth begins, when you do things for your own standards, not for an audience. Most people are performers on the stage of life. They only work hard when someone is watching. They only practice English when they might get praise. They only push themselves when there's a reward at the end. But what happens when the audience leaves? When the praise doesn't come? Their motivation disappears. You must become your own audience, your own judge, your own source of validation. The work you do in private determines the person you become in public. The English you practice alone shapes the conversations you have in public. The discipline you build behind closed doors creates the freedom you experience in the open world. Stop performing. Start becoming. The most powerful transformations happen where no one is watching. Segment 22. The scaffolding of progress. You don't build a skyscraper all at once. You build scaffolding first. Temporary structures that help you reach higher levels. Your goals are the skyscraper. Your daily habits are the scaffolding. Most people look at fluent English speakers and see the finished building. They don't see the years of scaffolding that made it possible. The failed conversations, the grammar mistakes, the awkward moments. They want the result without the process. You must fall in love with the scaffolding, with the temporary structures of your daily practice, with the imperfect attempts, with the gradual improvement. Your scaffolding right now might look like 15 minutes of English practice daily, learning 5 new words each morning, listening to English while commuting, speaking to yourself in the mirror. This scaffolding seems small, insignificant, but it's what will allow you to build something magnificent. Don't be ashamed of your scaffolding. Everyone who ever built anything great started with temporary support structures. The magic is this: as you grow, you need less scaffolding. What was once difficult becomes easy. What required concentration becomes automatic. But you must start with the scaffolding. Embrace the temporary structures of your growth. Segment 23. The two versions of you. There are two people living inside your mind right now. The first is the person you are. The second is the person you could become. Every decision you make is a vote for one of them. When you hit snooze, a vote for the current you. When you wake up early, a vote for the future you. When you watch meaningless videos, a vote for the current you. When you study English, a vote for the future you. When you make excuses, a vote for the current you. When you take action, a vote for the future you. These two versions are in constant competition, and they're both fighting for control of your life. The current you is comfortable, familiar, safe. The future you is unknown, demanding, uncomfortable. But here's the secret. The future you is already real. They exist in potential form, waiting for you to cast enough votes to bring them to life. Every time you choose what's right over what's easy, every time you choose growth over comfort, every time you choose discipline over distraction, you're not just making a choice, you're conducting a resurrection. You're bringing the future you to life. Stop voting against yourself. Stop electing the person who settles for less. The election is happening right now, and you're the only voter. Segment 24. The unseen battle. The most important battle you will ever fight is invisible. It doesn't happen in the gym or the classroom. It happens in the space between your ears. It's the battle for control of your attention. Your attention is the most valuable real estate you own, and everyone wants to rent it. Social media companies want it. News outlets want it. Entertainment companies want it. Your friends want it. They all want a piece of your mental space, and every time you give it away, you lose a little more of yourself. The person who controls your attention controls your life. You must become a warrior for your own mind. You must guard your attention like a precious treasure, because whatever has your attention eventually has your life. If your attention is on trivial things, you will live a trivial life. If your attention is on growth, you will live an expanding life. Reclaim your attention. Turn off notifications. Create spaces of silence. Protect your focus. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your attention. What you pay attention to becomes your reality. Choose wisely. Segment 25. The final wake-up. This is not a test run. This is not a rehearsal. This is your life. The person you become in the next year is being decided by the choices you're making today. The English you speak in 5 years is being determined by your practice today. The life you have in a decade is being built by your habits today. There are no neutral moments. Every choice is a vote for the person you're becoming. You don't get to suddenly become disciplined when it matters. You build discipline when it doesn't seem to matter, so it's there when you need it. You don't magically become fluent in English overnight. You build fluency word by word, day by day, until it becomes your reality. The universe is neutral. It doesn't care about your dreams, but it does respond to your actions. Stop waiting for a sign. Stop hoping for a miracle. Stop dreaming about a different life. Create it, word by word, action by action, day by day. This is your awakening. This is your responsibility. This is your time. The alarm has been ringing long enough. It's time to stop hitting snooze on your potential. Wake up. Stand up. Begin. Segment 26. The Daily Renaissance. Every morning, you are born again. The person you were yesterday does not determine who you can be today. Most people carry the baggage of yesterday into today. They bring yesterday's failures, yesterday's tiredness, yesterday's excuses. But today is a new canvas. Yesterday's mistakes are just lessons, not life sentences. This is the power of the Daily Renaissance. The failed study session yesterday doesn't matter. The skipped workout yesterday doesn't matter. The fear you felt yesterday doesn't matter. All that matters is what you do now. Stop letting your past dictate your future. Stop building prisons from your previous failures. Each sunrise is a reset button. Each morning is a new opportunity to reinvent yourself. The person who struggled with English yesterday can become more fluent today. The person who lacked discipline yesterday can build it today. The person who was afraid yesterday can be courageous today. Your potential is renewed every 24 hours. Don't waste today carrying yesterday's burdens. Segment 27. The Economy of Attention. Your attention is the currency of your life. Where you spend it determines your reality. Every hour spent scrolling is an investment in distraction. Every hour spent learning is an investment in growth. Every hour spent worrying is an investment in fear. You are making these investments right now, whether you realize it or not. Most people are bankrupt of focused attention. They've spent it all on things that don't matter. But you can start fresh today. You can become wealthy in focused attention. The richest people in the world aren't those with the most money. They're those with the most control over their attention. They can focus for hours on what matters. They can ignore what doesn't. They invest their attention wisely. Start tracking your attention investments. Ask yourself every hour, is this where I want to invest my life energy? Because when you're on your deathbed, you won't regret the money you didn't make. You'll regret the attention you wasted. Segment 28. The truth about talent. Talent is a myth that comfortable people believe in. It's the excuse they use when they see someone succeed where they failed. But here's the truth. Nobody tells you. Talent is just interest plus persistence. The talented English speaker just stayed interested longer. The natural athlete just practiced more consistently. The gifted musician just didn't quit when it got hard. Stop waiting to discover your talent. Start building it through consistent action. You don't find your passion. You build it through mastery. You don't discover your talent. You develop it through repetition. The world's best at anything were once beginners who refused to stay beginners. They fell in love with the process, not just the outcome. They enjoyed becoming more than they enjoyed being good. Stop looking for shortcuts around the work. The work is the shortcut. Segment 29. The courage of consistency. Anyone can be motivated for a day. Anyone can be disciplined for a week. But few have the courage to be consistent for years. Consistency isn't sexy. It doesn't make for exciting social media posts. It's quiet, boring, and often invisible. But consistency is where real transformation happens. It's the difference between a flash in the pan and a lasting fire. The consistent person studies English even on days they don't feel like it, exercises even when tired, works even when uninspired. They understand that motivation follows action, not the other way around. Consistency requires courage because you have to face the truth. If you're not moving forward, you're moving backward. There's no standing still in life. You're either building habits or breaking them. You're either gaining ground or losing it. Have the courage to show up every day, especially when nobody's watching. That's how legends are built. Segment 30. The final wake-up call. This is it. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Except it's not a single moment. It's every moment. The alarm clock ringing wasn't just this morning. It's been ringing your entire life. The question isn't whether you'll wake up. The question is whether you'll stay awake. Most people hit snooze on their potential every single day. They wake up briefly, have a moment of clarity, then go back to sleep. They see what needs to be done, then retreat to comfort. They feel the pull of their dreams, then choose the familiarity of their fears. But you're different. You're still here, still listening, still fighting. That means there's still hope. That means the fire hasn't gone out completely. So here's your final wake-up call. The person you're meant to become is waiting. The life you're meant to live is waiting. The impact you're meant to have is waiting. But they won't wait forever. This is your life. This is your time. This is your moment. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop waiting for someone to save you. Save yourself. Become yourself. The world doesn't need more sleepwalkers. It needs more people who are fully awake. So wake up. Stay awake. And go build the life you were born to live. Segment 31. The anchor of self-trust. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you weaken your self-trust. Every time you say, I'll study tomorrow, and don't. Every time you set an alarm and hit snooze. Every time you plan to practice English and then distract yourself. You're teaching your subconscious, my words don't matter. But when you keep promises to yourself, no matter how small, You build an unshakable foundation of self-trust. The person who trusts themselves doesn't need external validation, doesn't fear failure as much, doesn't procrastinate as often, because they know if they decide to do something, it gets done. Start rebuilding your self-trust today. Make small promises and keep them. I will learn 3 new English words today. Then do it. I will practice for 15 minutes. Then do it. Your confidence doesn't come from your successes. It comes from knowing you'll follow through on what you say you'll do. Segment 32. The myth of multitasking. You think you're being productive, jumping between English lesson, email, social media, messages. But you're not multitasking. You're task switching, and every switch costs you. Focus, energy, quality. Depth. The person who spends 30 minutes focused on English learns more than someone who spends 2 hours multitasking. Depth beats breadth every time. Mastery requires undivided attention. Your brain is not designed to handle multiple complex tasks at once. It's designed to dive deep into one thing at a time. When you study English, just study English. When you work, just work. When you rest, just rest. Stop fragmenting your attention. Start embracing monotasking. The quality of your attention determines the quality of your results. Segment 33. The season of preparation. Right now might feel like winter. The seeds you're planting aren't visible. The growth is happening underground. Most people quit during this season. They don't see immediate results, so they assume nothing is happening. But underground, your neural pathways are strengthening. Your habits are forming. Your character is being built. The fluent English speakers you admire all went through this same season of invisible growth. They practiced when nobody was watching. They studied when they didn't feel like it. They persisted when they saw no progress. Don't judge your journey by its current season. Spring always follows winter. Your job is not to force growth. Your job is to create the conditions for growth, then trust the process. Keep planting. Keep watering. Keep showing up. The harvest will come. Segment 34. The art of resilience. Resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you build through repeated exposure to difficulty. Every time you study when tired, speak English despite fear, continue after failure, you're adding another layer to your resilience. Resilient people aren't those who never fall. They're those who fall and develop better ways to get back up. Think of resilience like a muscle. It grows through resistance. It requires recovery. It gets stronger with consistent training. Stop avoiding challenges. Stop running from discomfort. Every difficult moment is an opportunity to build resilience. Every English conversation that feels awkward, every grammar concept that seems confusing, every practice session that feels frustrating, these aren't obstacles. They are training sessions for your resilience muscle. The goal isn't to avoid falling. The goal is to get better at getting back up. Segment 35. The final truth. You've been waiting for someone to give you permission. Waiting for the perfect moment. Waiting until you feel ready. But here's the final truth. Nobody is coming to save you. There is no perfect moment. You will never feel completely ready. The permission you seek can only come from you. The moment you have is the only one guaranteed. The readiness you want comes from starting before you're ready. This is both terrifying and liberating. Terrifying because it means the responsibility is entirely yours. Liberating because it means the power has been yours all along. You don't need more information. You don't need more motivation. You don't need more perfect conditions. You need to start where you are. with what you have, as you are. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, but that step must be taken. Not tomorrow, not when you feel more confident, not when circumstances are better. Now, your future self is watching this moment, wondering what you will choose, hoping you will choose them. Don't disappoint them. Segment 36. The silent standards. The quality of your life is determined by the standards you uphold when no one is watching. What you do in private creates your public reality. The English you practice alone becomes the English you speak in public. The discipline you build in secret becomes the strength people see openly. Most people have public standards and private compromises. They pretend to be disciplined while indulging in private laziness. They claim to want growth while avoiding private effort. But true transformation happens in the silent spaces. The choice to study instead of scroll. The decision to practice instead of procrastinate. The commitment to grow instead of complain. Your private standards are your true foundation. Everything else is just decoration. Stop performing discipline for an audience. Start building character in solitude. The person you become when nobody's watching is the person you truly are. Segment 37. The energy economy. Your energy is finite. Every decision drains it. Every distraction consumes it. Every negative thought depletes it. Most people wake up with a full battery and drain it on things that don't matter. Worrying about opinions, scrolling through feeds, overthinking decisions. By the time they get to what matters, learning English, working on goals, they're running on empty. You must become the guardian of your energy. Protect it like the precious resource it is. Start your day with energy-giving activities. Movement instead of scrolling. Learning instead of worrying. Planning instead of reacting. Your energy level determines your effectiveness. You can't build a great life running on empty. Manage your energy, not just your time. The quality of your hours matters more than the quantity. Segment 38. The compounding moment. This moment, right now, contains your entire future. Not in some magical, mystical way, but in a practical, mathematical way. The choice you make in this moment, to study or not study, to focus or distract yourself, to persist or quit. This choice will lead to the next moment and the next and the next. Your life is a chain of these moments. Each one either moves you toward your goals or away from them. There are no neutral moments, only compounding ones. The person who becomes fluent in English didn't make one big decision. They made thousands of small ones. Moment by moment, day by day. Stop waiting for some future moment to change your life. Change this moment. Then the next. Then the next. Your future is being built right now, in the choices you're making as you read these words. Segment 39. The truth about readiness. You keep waiting until you're ready. But readiness is a myth. The perfect time never comes. The perfect conditions never arrive. The perfect version of you doesn't exist yet. You become ready by starting before you're ready. You create perfect conditions through imperfect action. You grow into the person who can handle the challenge by facing the challenge. The English student who waits until they know enough words never speaks. The entrepreneur who waits until they have the perfect plan never starts. The dreamer who waits until they feel confident never acts. Readiness doesn't precede action. Action creates readiness. Start before you're ready. Speak before you're fluent. Try before you're certain. The water doesn't become clear until you stop stirring it. The path doesn't appear until you start walking. Stop waiting. Start becoming. Segment 40. The final realization. You've been searching for something that was inside you all along. The motivation you sought was in your daily actions. The confidence you wanted was in your kept promises. The strength you needed was in your consistent effort. The answers weren't in another video, another book, another motivational speech. They were in the simple daily choice to show up, to try, to persist. You already have everything you need: the mind that can learn, the will that can persist, the heart that can endure. The rest is just execution. Stop searching for secrets. Start practicing fundamentals. Stop waiting for inspiration. Start building through repetition. You are the solution you've been waiting for. You are the change you want to see. Now go prove it to yourself. Segment 41. The daily renewal. Every morning, you receive the same gift. 24 hours. How you spend them defines your life. Most people treat today as a continuation of yesterday. They carry yesterday's failures, yesterday's tiredness, yesterday's excuses. But today is a blank page. Yesterday's story doesn't have to be today's. The most powerful words you can speak each morning. Today, I begin again. Not from where you wish you were, not from where others think you should be, but from exactly where you are. The English you didn't learn yesterday? Begin today. The discipline you lacked yesterday? Build today. The courage you couldn't find yesterday? Summon today. Each sunrise offers this renewal, but you must accept it. Stop dragging yesterday's chains into today. The key to your freedom is in this moment. Segment 42. The focus formula. Your focus determines your reality. Where you place your attention grows. Most people scatter their focus. A little on social media, a little on worries, a little on entertainment, a little on growth. Then they wonder why nothing grows significantly. The formula is simple. 1 hour of focused practice beats 10 hours of distracted effort. When you study English, be all there. When you work, be all there. When you rest, be all there. Stop multitasking your life away. Depth creates mastery. Breadth creates mediocrity. Protect your focus like your life depends on it, because it does. Segment 43. The truth about motivation. Motivation is not the cause of action. It's the result of it. You don't need to feel motivated to start. You need to start to feel motivated. The person who waits to feel inspired never creates. The person who waits to feel energetic never exercises. The student who waits to feel motivated never learns. Action comes first. Feelings follow. Stop checking your emotional weather report. Stop asking, "How do I feel?" Start asking, "What needs to be done?" Your feelings are liars. Your actions are truth tellers. Don't follow your motivation. Lead it through action. Segment 44. The courage of imperfection. You're waiting until you can do it perfectly. But perfection is the enemy of progress. The perfect English accent doesn't exist. The perfect business plan doesn't exist. The perfect version of you doesn't exist. What exists is this: the courage to be imperfect today, the willingness to be a beginner, the humility to make mistakes. Every master was once a disaster. Every expert was once embarrassed. Your progress is hidden behind your fear of looking stupid. Your growth is waiting on the other side of your pride. Speak English poorly until you speak it well. Write badly until you write well. Try clumsily until you try skillfully. Imperfect action beats perfect inaction every time. Segment 45. The final choice. At the end of all these words, one question remains. What will you do with this moment? Will you close this video and return to distraction? Or will you take one step toward your dreams? The information has been given. The motivation has been provided. The path has been shown. Now the choice is yours alone. Not tomorrow. Not when you have more time. Not when you feel ready. Right now. Your future self is watching this moment. They're hoping you'll choose them. Praying you'll take that first step. Don't disappoint them. The world has enough spectators. It needs more players. The stage is set. The lights are on. The audience is waiting. It's your turn to step into the spotlight of your own life. What happens next is up to you. Segment 46. The unshakable core. Build your life on what cannot be taken from you. Not your job title, that can change. Not your bank account, that can empty. Not other people's opinions, those can shift. Build on what remains. Your discipline, your knowledge, your character, your resilience. The English you learn becomes part of you forever. The discipline you build becomes your foundation. The courage you develop becomes your compass. Invest in the permanent. Build the unshakable core. When everything else changes, as it will, your core will keep you standing. Segment 47. The legacy of daily choices. You are not building a resume. You are building a legacy. Not of achievements, but of character. Not of possessions, but of impact. Every time you choose discipline over distraction. Every time you choose growth over comfort. Every time you choose courage over fear. You are writing your legacy. The world won't remember your excuses. It will remember your contributions. The fluent English isn't the goal. It's the tool that lets you share your message. The success isn't the destination. It's the platform that amplifies your voice. Build something that outlives you. Create something that serves others. That is the legacy worth building. Segment 48. The final beginning. This isn't the end. This is where your real journey starts. All these words, these lessons, these truths, they mean nothing if they don't lead to action. The video ends here. Your work begins now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Right now. Take what you've learned and apply it. Take what you've felt and channel it. Take who you want to become and start being it. One step at a time. One word at a time. One day at a time. You have everything you need. You are everything you need. Now, go prove it to yourself. The world is waiting for the version of you that decides to show up. This is your moment. Make it count. If this message resonated with you, pay it forward. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more real talk about life and growth. Remember, your English journey is part of your life journey. Every word you learn makes you more powerful. Every sentence you speak makes you more free. Keep going. Keep growing. We believe in you. Until next time, speak with courage. Learn with passion. Live with purpose.